Hello, everybody!
Oh, you're starting it. Okay, go ahead.
Welcome back to the Team Cosmic Bodies channel. I am Coach Kyle. This is Lauren Dannemiller, IFBB Pro Bikini. And today, or in this video specifically, we're going to talk about bloating. And there's so much that can go into it. So before knowing a lot about that person, this is just going to be pretty general. So what do you think about bloating? And we've done a video like this on her channel, Lauren Dannemiller, but maybe this is just like the updated version or something we'll send our clients our way, because I feel like this is like a frequently asked thing that people talk to us about. So
oh yeah, I definitely get this. This is a question I get asked all the time with my clients. Okay, so bloating. All right. So when we are usually bloated a lot of the time. It's like, what do? We're drinking diet sodas and we eat out. We have salty meals. It's just kind of like just part of it. We just bloat. It's normal. It's a normal thing here. When we are for me personally, when I'm in a deficit and I'm in a cutting phase, I just overanalyze my physique all the time because I am trying to lose body fat. So I'm getting on the scale every morning. I become obsessed with my fat loss or my mini cut and my prep. And I'm always checking myself out constantly. When I'm getting pretty close to stage time, when I'm 6 weeks out or even 8, I'm starting to get really obsessive over what I'm looking like every single second of the day. I take progress photos for Kyle. I'm in the gym, whatever. It's fun getting lean. It's fun when your abs are popping out, and it's okay. We all do it. So me, when I'm bloated, I know instantly. I know instantly when I'm holding on to water. I know instantly when I'm not feeling, and I'm oh, I feel squishy. Ooh, what's going on with me? Or I'm just bloated or something. I know just because I'm analyzing myself constantly. When I'm in my off season, I don't notice it as much because I have extra body fat on me. Plus, I'm really not analyzing my physique too much when I'm in my improvement season. I just don't really look at my physique that much. I wear a big a big tank top in the gym compared to maybe when I'm leaner. I don't wear a tank top, because I want to show my abs off. So that is the gist of it. You're probably
bloated in the off season or
yeah.
in regular life all the time. You're just overanalyzing it now because you're tracking your food or looking at your physique more. So don't take that into too big of a consideration because you're why am I bloated now? So I think also women can bloat a lot more than men, or care about it a lot more, or it's more frequently on a monthly thing, depending on your cycle, depending on the person too. Some people don't have as much of an issue. So bloating's not that big of a deal as long as it's not painful for you. But there are some concerns that you can think about as far as why it's happening, even if it's not necessarily painful. I don't know if it's something your body's reacting in some fashion. So like she said, you could just have a salty meal, right? Maybe you're drinking a little bit less water. Maybe you had a big salty meal. I know if I had sushi and soda, I would bloat a little bit post meal. So that's something to think about too, is how much sodium you're intaking and what's your water intake. And if you don't want to bloat as much, I'd probably bring your sodium down, especially during your time of the month if you're a female. And that's something you experience as a side effect a lot of times. So I'd probably bring your sodium down a little bit. I wouldn't take it out completely. You need sodium. I think that's important. But I just wouldn't overdo it. I wouldn't add soy sauce to every little thing you're eating. So, and mustard and everything, right? So it's you're adding all these condiments. So I'd bring the water up a little bit. Make sure it's consistent, water and sodium intake. Bloating can come from what? Eating too much fiber, eating too little fiber. So usually I get bloated if I have a ton of whole wheat, if I have a ton of fiber, a ton of cruciaceous vegetables, right? Or I don't know if I'm saying that right, but broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, those things bloat me a lot more than green beans and cucumbers. So that's something to think about too.
Real quick here, and so this goes into the bloating section just because it's throwing off our physique, is the water retention side of things. I personally get more of that water retention look where I'm like, and I'm gonna be open. Like I tell Kyle, we're in the gym, I go, babe, like I'm so, what's going on? I look like I'm holding all this water. So with me personally, when I'm on low carbs, I hold on a lot of water.
Well, holding water is different than bloating.
I know, but I think sometimes we could like mix up the two a little bit in a way. I'm just gonna talk about the water retention side of things real quick because this is just what I notice. Because when I am dieting and I'm on low carb for like, I'm going on day 5.
Well, it could be low calorie and cortisol goes up.
That is why. It's because your body is stressed out. So recently I've been eating more carbohydrates and I just like kind of tightened all up. I'm like, ooh, I'm tight. And it's just, and I'm maintaining my weight right now, but it's just because I have more carbohydrates in me and I'm filling out and I look tighter, I look leaner because of the carbs, and my body's not like stressed out anymore because I'm not in a huge deficit. So that does play a role if you're in a fat loss phase. Like the water retention is part of the process. It is.
Yeah. You're not going to look stage ready all year round,
and he always tells me
best.
that.
So it's about looking your best on that photo shoot day or that wedding day or that like competition day. That's when you want to look your best. And we would peak you for that based on your sodium, water intake of food and help with stress levels and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then help with aldosterone and stuff like that. So I do think it's one of those things too that you will experience water retention throughout a fat loss phase because you will be stressed. And with or without cortisol, as long as you're consistent, which I've done a video about this, you will get a whoosh effect. You will see the scale drop. And it's just about being consistent. Mm-hmm. So even if you are in a calorie deficit, how you fix it is just consistency and maybe some refeeds or something like that.
Yeah, I always tighten up after a refeed like that. And I'm like,
yes,
there we go. I look good. I look lean. But I swear like 50, if not more % of the time, guys, I am looking at myself going, oh my gosh, I'm holding on to so much water. This is like, it's really, and I tell him all the time, he's always annoyed with me because I'm always telling him it, like when I'm in the gym, and he's always like, what's going on? It's because of the low calories and stuff.
Yeah.
But
well, hormonally too. Women hold more water than men usually, so I take that into consideration when making adjustments to women versus men. Sometimes for men, I'll wait 2 weeks and make an adjustment. Sometimes for women, I'll wait 3 or 4 weeks and let that cycle come through before making an adjustment to get more aggressive because I do want to see a predictable weigh-in, consistent, drier moments on the scale as well.
But in terms of feeling bloated, like the feeling where your stomach is like out and you're just like, ugh. Honestly, I look like that before I go to bed every night. Like, before I go to bed every night, I look like that, guys. Like, I should show you a photo, like, what I look like before going to bed, because I'm like, pretty extended, because at nighttime, that's when I have, like, my big salad, because I love my big salad at night. That's when I have all my fiber. And then protein ice cream freaking bloats me. Oh my God. Like, yeah, I'm, like, extended, and I don't, it's like uncomfortable sometimes, but that's why like I put those foods at like the end of my day. Like not before the gym. I don't have protein ice cream before I go to the gym. I don't eat a big salad before I go to the gym.
I honestly disagree with that a little bit.
Really?
I think bloating is a normal thing and it's fine if it happens from time to time, but I don't think it's something you want to experience a lot.
No.
Because I do think it's telling us something about your digestion and about the foods you're intaking. So you do want to find foods that sit well with you, or find how much fiber you're intaking and have it sit well with you. Some people can handle 40, 50, 60 grams of fiber. Some people can't, and you just need 20 or 25. So about probably 15 grams of fiber per 1,500 calories. So your minimum fiber could be 15, but it could be closer to 30, and that sits well with you. I would stay somewhat predictable with it all. I wouldn't just eat 60, then 15, then 60, then 15. You know, I would hang out in a certain area that sits well with you. Certain foods that sit well with you. right? So take away the Joseph Peter wraps if those and the whole wheat
Yeah, remember
fiber
that was
things,
happening to me?
if that is giving you pain and bloating, or a bunch of bran, like Raisin Bran, that could hurt your stomach in the end. So I would say
chewing a ton of gum.
I would say
the sugar alcohols.
the main things you want to think about is, yes, you can have cruciaceous vegetables in your diet, the broccoli, the cauliflower, and all that stuff. And you can have a lot of fiber, whole wheat stuff, but I wouldn't overdo it at each meal. I would eat less than 100 grams of the broccoli. Like maybe you only can intake 50 at a time. Or maybe you have to move away from those types of vegetables and eat more easy digestible vegetables. Go to the asparagus, go to the cucumbers, go to the green beans. Eat easier digestible carbs and easier digestible vegetables, and eat more eat more potatoes, eat more rice products. These things are going to help with the bloating if you're getting so focused because you're in a fat loss phase about feeling full, and you start packing in all the fiber and packing in all the condiments, and next thing you know, you had a ton of fiber, a ton of salt, and you're bloated all the time, and you're drinking a bunch of diet sodas, and you're uncomfortable, and digestion isn't as good as it could be. So it's one of those things that you might need to add in a little bit more rice cakes, take away certain vegetables, and just find that sweet spot with how much fiber and vegetables you can intake, that it doesn't take away from digestion, and you can absorb these nutrients correctly and use them for recovery and performance.
That was gold. I mean, that was everything you need to know. Yeah, you just nailed everything with terms of the diet sodas and the gum and the sugar alcohols too. And I mean,
a little bit's fine, but
just watch it. That's our biggest.
It could be so many different things.
It could be. Yeah, I mean, then there's like about your gut and your microbiome and your Pacific. I mean, it could be dairy products that affect you, and dairy ice cream, or you xanthan gum, or you lactose intolerant, like all this type of stuff. But that's you have to talk to your doctor, about that.
Or just yourself experimenting.
Or honestly, they don't even know too much about like gut and whatnot. So it's about finding foods that work for you.
And you can do like probiotics. Like I would try to do more like the Greek yogurt and
or greens drink,
sauerkraut, or kimchi, like these like food, and that stuff can help your microbiome.
Just a little bit of kimchi. You don't need a lot.
You can do like a probiotic that you buy. 10 billion CFU or whatever. You can do the probiotic digestive enzymes, but I wouldn't necessarily go there first. I would look what's in your diet, what's in the fiber, what's in the vegetables, what's in the gum, what's in the sugar alcohols, what's in the artificial sweeteners and all that stuff, and kind of look deeper into what you're eating, correct that stuff, and maybe you could do a probiotic.
Could be the supplements that you're taking too. I mean, then after you look at your food, then you move on to like my supplements, and you look in there. I mean, maybe there's something in there that's messing with you, maybe a fat burner that you're taking that's throwing off your gut or something. I don't know, so.
Or you're eating the same foods for like the last 5 years, and your body's just like, your microbiome's a little messed up. So variety of fruits and vegetables, but also the amount of fiber and types of vegetables I eat. You guys just do some experimentation of what works with you. Make sure you're hydrated, make sure you're staying stable with some of the sodium and stuff like that. And there'll be some bloating no matter what, throughout a time. Like she said, it is normal. Like I didn't want to take that away, but if it's happening daily.
I mean, but at nighttime, what, you look tight before you go to bed?
No, but there's a difference between bloating and distension. Like you could just be full. Like she could just be discussing, hey, I feel full and I'm full, and it's not necessarily like I'm bloated.
And then there's the watery side of things too that we kind of talked about as well. That's what I experience most of the time, is the water retention. Yeah.
So I wouldn't overthink it, but I would just like think about some of these things.
On your photo shoot day, on stage day, I mean, you're not gonna look bloated, okay? It's not gonna happen. I want you looking tight for those events. Okay.
But seriously, like, eat easy digestible vegetables, like the cucumbers, the green beans, the carrots, like simple things, like steaming it. Yeah.
That's what I did.
Get away from some of the raw, like if you eat a bunch of raw broccoli all the time.
Yeah. That's what happened to me, and then I started cooking it.
Steaming.
Even carrots too. Like if you want, it's just
Steaming it.
your digestive system can like just take it easier when it's cooked. It's easy, it's breakable and stuff. So, all right, sounds good. All right, we're gonna end it here, and we'll see you in the next one.